Hello, welcome back to She's at the Vicarage, and we are moving through the Bowl Full of Lemons challenge. I'm ever so sorry, but I haven't filmed all that I've done. It's been a bit of a struggle to do it, juggle everything as it is these days with work and family commitments. But I've been working through the kitchen in week 3, and then in week 4 I did do the pantry, and so I'm going to show you week 3 and week 4. I just methodically worked through each cupboard, went through and decided what could stay and what could go. And what I've noticed is I'm a little bit more willing to let things go this year than previous years. I'm being quite more realistic about what actually I want in my life. Sometimes I think, well, I've got the space. I'm sure you've heard of the container concept. If you've got the space for it, you can keep it. But actually, do I need to keep it? Do I want to keep it? Could I live without it, is my question as I've been moving through the kitchen. And probably more willingly, I've decided I can live without a lot more stuff as we've moved through. You just see me in the saucepan cupboard now, just cleaning off all these little marks from the saucepan. I didn't think they'd come off, but I use something called Barman's Friend. Not something I use daily, but it really did make a difference and clear off the inside of this cupboard. So this is me just clearing it down, making it look a little bit like it did when we had it new a number of years ago. Then I moved in to the cupboard under the sink. And in this cupboard, I discovered that some of our family members have been putting a lot of cleaning products, and actually we've got a cupboard for the cleaning products. So I cleared out this and took those to the right place and then put it back together. Just filling in, we realised I had 3 different rinse aids for our dishwasher, so that was sorting those out too. I've got quite a few things that I've managed to declutter from the kitchen this time, so I thought I'd share those with you, the things that I'm decluttering at the end of January. And so the first thing is this beautiful biscuit tin. I've got some biscuits for Christmas in this, and then the top bit is just stunning. I don't know if you can see the lights on the tin, it might be too bright in here, and if you turn it, it plays music. So an incredible biscuit tin really, but not a very practical biscuit tin, and so I'm going to pass that on and maybe someone else can make use of it. So that's a biscuit tin gone. We did make use of all the biscuits in it. The other thing you saw me do earlier this year was make a peg bag, and so this is just an added thing that can go in my peg tin. Now, as I was saying, I'm being a little bit more selective over what I keep, and I had 4 of these and then a slightly deeper cake tin as well, and they're all the same size, and I realised that the likelihood of me making cakes with all of them is unnecessary. So I've chosen the worst 2, and I'm going to pass them on to recycling and just recycle those 2 and then just hold on to the other 3 that I have. So still quite a lot, but I don't need all of them. Now this, it's a kind of fantasy self item, this is, isn't it? The idea that you have such a relaxed breakfast that you have time to decant your cereals into these plastic containers, and then you pour your cereals and it'll all look beautiful and life will be incredible. My life isn't at that stage. It is very busy, and ideally, when I finish working here, when I finish in this vicarage, I want to live a much smaller and simpler life. So the likelihood of me decanting lots of cereals in my retirement is not realistic either. And so these have sat in the cupboard thinking one day I might make use of them, but actually I'm being realistic and realising that one day, even one day, I'm not going to make use of these. So I am going to pass these on. So they're going. Another thing to the fantasy self is the idea that actually one day I'm going to have water in this lovely bottle, and it's going to be cold, and we're going to sit out on my lovely table outside and, I don't know, have a bit of mint maybe in it, and oh, lovely cold lemonade perhaps that's made from home. Lovely ideas. I have 2 glass jugs, and when we do drink outside, when we have those moments in the summer, I tend to fill a jug full of water because it's a lot more, and with a family of 4, we're very unlikely to just use a glass bottle. And so although this bottle was beautiful and I love the idea of it, I'm going to pass it on to somebody else. This cup was designed for one of my children with a thing. I hate plastic. It's a very cheap item. I checked, they don't want it, and so that's going to be passed on as well. Then I was thinking about actually taking care of myself, and so I have removed this glass from our cupboard. We've kind of kept it in there for quite a while, even though the top bit's been chipped off, thinking, well, you can drink from the other side, but actually we're more important than that, and we don't need chipped glasses. We are not at that stage. So that glass can be recycled. This, I love this cake slice. It's I think it's Laura Ashley actually, stainless steel cake slice. Again, I don't have the life where I'm going to sit and slowly provide cake on a cake slice. And I've kind of put this to the test in that in September we do a coffee morning for Macmillan, and I make lots of cakes and lots of people come and eat the cakes, and never once have I collected this cake slice out of the drawer and used it. So I think someone else can make better use of that. So I'm going to let that go as well. Just found a plastic knife, probably for baking, but I've never made use of it. So again, that can go. Multiple measurers. My husband went out and bought some more measurers, but we actually have half a teaspoon and a teaspoon of other measurers that I like much more. So I'm going to let those two go as well. I've held on to this lid hoping that I'd find the box. I haven't found the box in probably 3 years, so the lid can go. This is to ice cakes. You can tell I went through the cake drawer. I can use a plastic bag if I'm going to. I've not iced a cake maybe once in my lifetime, so I'm going to let that go. And these little bits, attachments that should have gone with something, I think a chocolate melting thing, so they can go because they're not necessary. Then also, I have all these cookie cutters. And again, I've kept the size that I want, but the reality is I don't need all of those. So someone else can make use of those. I also gained that one, and that can go as well. And then some more cookie cutters that I have. I had a whole set of these plastic cookie cutters, and I heard the advice that you don't need to keep the whole set. And actually, realistically, they're a little bit small when you make cookies. We kind of in our household want larger ones than that. And so I am going to get rid of these. I haven't got rid of all of them. Some of them, like the teddy bear and the other angel that we have, are a good, the gingerbread man, sorry, and the other angel that we have are a good size and shape, and they're the ones we go to. These ones, you make them, like that's meant to be Santa. You make them and then they all just splodge, so you can't really see them. So I am going to pass those ones on. A random dinosaur cookie cutter that I don't know where we got it from, but that can pass on as well. And then an angel cookie cutter. Again, the shape of it, you can imagine would be lovely, but then it just kind of comes out as a bit of a splodge, and we go to a different one. So we don't use this angel cookie cutter, so that can go as well. I've replaced our toothbrush holders because I didn't much like these, so that can go. And then lastly, I find it incredibly hard to get rid of this. This tray was given to me by my best friend from childhood, and I love her dearly. And in a way, I've attached my emotion to her into this tray that I feel I have to hold on to it because she gave it to me. But as you know, last year, when I cleaned out the laundry, I cleaned my metal trays that I'd inherited, and I love those more. And they're a more practical size probably. So I'm going to let this tray go and someone else can enjoy this. I don't need multiple trays, and so I've still got 3 trays, but I don't need 4 or even 5. I think there's another one that I've got rid of recently as well. So I have had a bit of a clear out in the kitchen. I'm still methodically working through it. I'd love to have shown you that I cleaned my fridge and I'd clean the cooker. They're jobs that I haven't managed to get round to. It's all just a little bit too much at the moment. But one job that I'm going to do today on my day off is to sort out this table. I mentioned this, I think, when I was making my peg bag, maybe. I mentioned that I don't like this plastic cover anymore because it's incredibly dirty and horrible. And so I am going to remove this cover. I'm going to clean the table, sand it down and start the varnish on this. So hopefully today I'll get quite a way into preparing this table to look beautiful without a cover on it. And so you'll have to join me next time to see how that table progressed. But this is a look into my pantry. It isn't that bad. Obviously, I did the big decoration on the pantry last year, which I totally loved. But this is me just sorting out the pantry. So I just slowly went through and took everything out of the pantry, very much bowl full of lemons style, taking everything out of the room to sort it through. So I just took everything out and put it on the table in my kitchen. Before, obviously, I'd done the kitchen work, this was filmed. So slowly taking everything out of the pantry. Here's what the shelves looked like empty, so I gave them a good clean and then slowly began to put everything back. And this is the final shot of the pantry with everything put back, the spices out and alphabetically ordered, all the food back and the shelves nice and clean. You'll notice not everything went back in. Out of the pantry was a few more things to go, some empty things, some things that were out of date. This blender, I'm sure I've shown you probably at least twice. I was going to declutter it and then I think, oh no, I better keep it. But we still haven't made any use of it, so that will go. And then some boxes and things that are out of date, and a bottle of wine that was bought, in fact, to give to somebody, and so that just needs to be passed on to somebody else. So there we go. There we have it. I have started the process of cleaning the kitchen. I have cleaned through the pantry, and I should just let you know that my husband kindly mopped and vacuumed the pantry floor, so that's nice and clean now. But today the focus is on sorting this table out and actually trying to relax a little bit as well. Try and re-energise on my day off. So hopefully you're having a fantastic week. Hopefully you've got a little bit more energy than me and life isn't a little bit askew at the moment. Have a wonderful, blessed week, and I will see you next time. Take care. God bless.